What is our definition of what lucha is? What does it mean to struggle? There's no right or correct answer to that, right? Because we are the experts of our own realities. I feel like there are a lot of women on our day-to-day that the simple fact of getting up in the morning and feeding our kids or feeding ourselves is an act when we are at war, right? Because we are at war. We have the NYPD killing our kids. We have landlords that are gentrifying. We're helping gentrification. We have unemployment in our communities. We have those folks that are xenophobic, and more than that, are killing the hopes of our youth.
My definition of lucha, of struggle, is stopping violence, creating peace in this world, and not being a band-aid. Taking on oppression, taking on the oppressor, which are the capitalists, which are the rich in this country. That's what is struggle for me.
Seeing a lot of things change and a lot of people being pushed out of my neighborhood because people can't afford to live there, can't afford to eat, can't afford to put their kids in programs that when I was young is kind of what saved me from being in the streets. Being able to go to after school programs and being able to do things that keep you away from being out of the streets and falling into, you know, the norm of what they say, oh, you live downtown Lower Manhattan, Avenue C, Avenue D is a bad area, that's the ghetto, all the kids are in the street hanging out in the corner. But it's not true. A lot of the reason that happens is because of people being unaware of what's going on in our system and people not being given the ability to have access to many things that we should be able to have access to. So for me, struggle is dealing with a lot of those issues, and from what I do is helping people empower themselves through fitness and through movement.
I'm raising a young man. My son is 14 now, and it's like his father is not in his life. So currently I play the man and the woman, which I don't particularly care for. And so my struggle is, how do I raise my young man at home to be the kind of man that, you know, is worthy of being someone's husband and someone's father. Some of the things that I hear my young men say about women is like, okay, we got work to do. And there's so much media images out there telling them that they're not authentic if they're not doing A, B, and C, knowing that A, B, and C is taking them further away from what their goal is. You have to like keep pushing the affirmation like, yeah, you are great, and today you're gonna step into your greatness and I'm gonna drag you kicking and screaming.
Where do we gain the strength, the faith, the energy to keep going? Where do we get the energy to do the work?
Every day when I go to work is what keep me going. Every time I come to the office, wonder, everybody, it just makes me a different person. But then the reality is when I go back home, that's my reality.
Something like this keeps me going. Your interest in searching for help or a way to fight back as women's, men's, that's what keeps me going. So I admire each and every one of you.
Our youth are being snatched up. They're being gunned down by the police. They're being trapped and sent to prisons for lifetimes. Over 80,000 people are in solitary confinement, treated worse than animals. This is a criminal system. It was founded on slavery. You had 100 years of Jim Crow terror, and now you have the new Jim Crow. And it's not going to end until we end this system. This is why we're talking about real revolution. We're out here to fight for justice for Trayvon Martin. But we're also here because 30 years from now, 20 years from now, we don't want to be looking at this again.
took the programs of the Black Panther Party of the 60s, all of the survival programs, and we reacted, put them back out there. Because we believe that the way you cut off the machine is cut off where the machine feeds. And the machine feeds because we don't feed ourselves, we don't clothe ourselves, we don't educate ourselves. Damn near everything we do, we depend on the machine. So at any point, we're made victims of the machine. So you're not going to get the people to rise up if we're not taking care of ourselves, if we're not doing for ourselves. It's hard to make people strip away from a system that they depend on. So I want to start from the gate by saying that everything here is in unison, and that's the only way we're going to win this war, because it's a war. We're at war. The 1070 Act, the FDA Act, which is the Federal Defense Act, and all these other acts are acts of war against the people. And we have to understand that if we don't view it as such, it's not an epidemic, it's not a plague, it's not a mistake, it's not a happenstance. It is a deliberate act of war to continue a system of exploitation that has been going on well before 1492.
Who are the police trying to control? Who are they fighting? They're fighting the people, right? And it goes back even to the civil rights movement. You see pictures of people, students who are fighting for their rights, and the police are, you know, letting dogs loose on them, hitting them with water hoses. I mean, come on, like, you know, that should tell us whose side the police are on. They're on the side of the oppressor. And they have a direct connection to capitalism because it's their job to serve and protect those with money and wealth and power, and to protect property, not to protect us. You know, so serve and protect, let's not get confused. It's not to serve and protect our communities.
It comes to a point where people are just tired and had enough of the abuse, enough of seeing other people being abused, to the point that they say, you know what, it's time to stand up. And that's what we got to realize, that the time to stand up has come now, and that's why we're here today.
And the NYPD police the world. They train all the other police on the planet, get trained by the NYPD. So we have a unique situation here because we're not facing a police department or a sheriff's department. We're facing an army, a well-trained, organized army, except for the fact, like we said earlier, they're not trained for you to resist. That's the piece that's missing. Nowhere in their training guide did it ever say people are going to say, why am I being searched? You don't have the right to do this, or you can't do that. See, we got to instill that in ourselves, because we can have all the lectures in the world, but at the end of the day, if you're not ready to toe that line, you're not going to get the justice you're looking for. And toe that line means also stand up to police, but standing up to what's going on in our communities. We can't sit here as revolutionaries and not be principled and talk about the stuff that's going on in our community. Because we can talk about the enemy all day, but the enemy is only as strong as our weaknesses. So if we start to develop communication in our communities, like the sister spoke earlier, you know, we talk about the street organizations, not gangs, the street organizations, like they're the criminals. But really, every revolutionary organization that we idolize started as a street organization. All the people that we look up to started as part of street organizations, and we forget that element. And we allow the media to dictate who that is and what that is. So we, those who know, we got to start to employ our young brothers and sisters with rules and regulations. You know, a code. If you're going to control your set is everybody in the neighborhood. That means everybody should eat on a regular, everybody should be protected on a regular, should get decent, I say protected, decent education, decent housing, decent health care. That's part of your protection, because that's part of the aggression against us. You know, we use words like, I'm not too cool with the word immigrant, because, raise your hand if you're Native American. All right, we all immigrants. See, so I'm not really cool with separating a group. They separate groups so that we separate struggle. You know, an attack on one of us is an attack on all of us. So if it's an attack on our brown brothers and sisters in Arizona, it's an attack on a black brother in Chicago. If you're hungry, you can't function. You can't think. You can't operate. That's what drives our brown brothers and sisters to put on blue uniforms. The economic system of capitalism, spun backwards, drives us to oppress us. Because I gotta pay my rent, I gotta do what I gotta do. And there's no mystery that the only place the economic boom is left is if you wanna be a correction officer, military officer, or police officer.
Together, we can overcome the obstacles that's keeping us back. You understand, as far as poverty, we shouldn't have to worry about filling out a big application with welfare to get some food when we have each other. You understand? When we have private businesses within our community that, you know, probably willing to help, but they don't know us. You understand? They're not taking the time to know us. But we have to take these spaces back by making our presence known within our communities. So the No Cops Zoners events that we set up on the street corners, you know, we have music, we play music. Every now and then, you know, we turn the music down. Anybody in the community can come speak against police brutality, their experiences. You know, sometimes we have food, we feed people. You know, we do what we can to show people that we care, so they can take it upon themselves to care. And that way we grow, and the people become the leader as a collective. You understand?
The use of space in our communities is also something that has been taken from us. They made us believe that we don't have the right to be on our corners, on our blocks, out in the street. How many times have you been chilling on the block and the cops come by and they tell you to move and they tell you to go inside, they try to make it look like it's a crime? Since when is the use of space in our communities criminalized? In what other community do you go to where you can't be outside?
For those that didn't get this brochure, inside this brochure are the 13 programs that we have. And it all started with simple feeding people. No politics, no agenda, just you hungry, here's some food. You know, you need some clothes, here's a jacket. And then it built from there. UEP Newton, you know, said that the survival programs of the Black Panther Party are just that, survival programs. They're not reformist, they're not revolutionary. They're to get you to the point where you can become the revolutionary. If a family eats today, they're not gonna fight tonight. That family. We're right here on 125th in Lexington every second Friday from noon to about 5. We are being blessed for the last 8 years with the help of Jacob's Restaurant in Harlem to feed upwards of 600-700 people, clothe them, provide medical attention. You know, all of this is done from people volunteering their time. Nobody's paid, no government assistance, like the brother said. Welfare, nah, farewell to that. We do what we gotta do. And the best way to pull your community together is block by block, person by person. That's the only way to do it. So if you go home, anybody listening today, I believe in task right after teach. So your task after this teach is to go home and know everybody on the floor you live on. I'm not even gonna hit you with the building. No, just the floor you live on. Knock on every door on your floor and organize with the people on your floor. And then go from floor to floor to floor until you lock a building. And then when you lock a building, because I got news for you, that's what the pigs do. See, I call it what it is. That's what the pigs do. They go to one floor and find a cooperative person. And that cooperative person introduces them to another cooperative person. And pretty soon they got a building that they're roaming in. Now they're arresting their children at will. You know, because of these cooperative people. So we gotta, in turn, create these cooperative trees that work for the people. And when my doors kicked in at 4 in the morning and I'm snatched out my house, nobody's there to talk to my babies. Or the young people that watch this go on every day, they're traumatized. Our community is traumatized. So one of the things we focus on in the People's Survival Program is repairing that trauma. See, because if not, we'll become reactionary. And we don't want to be reactionary. We want to be organized. Because you know one thing, we can mobilize a whole lot of people, but very rarely do we organize people for long-term process. So if you want to end the police state, you want to survive it, we got to think long-term, get organized. And last but not least, connections. We didn't start this struggle. Hopefully we can end it. There are people called political prisoners and prisoners of war who are languishing behind this prison industrial complex so that we can know what's going on. If we are serious about organizing any organization, any person, I suggest that you get down with the political prisoner writing campaign that we got. It will help you start one so that we can get first-hand knowledge and experience how to deal with this.
Good evening. My name is Darnell Miller. I have brought my 3 kids here. I'm a parent of 3. Also, I'm been injured by NYPD, not once but twice, even on a gathering we did. Right now, I'm dealing with, like, I'm a dead man walking, literally. Who knows, this might be the last time y'all see me. I brought my kids here to let them know how real this is. No matter how rebellious they is to me, it's like me, I walk on the street, I've been harassed constantly 24/7. I got beat in front of my kids to the point where my kids is really now at a point where I have to leave where I'm at for 14 years. And how hard it is just to get the kids and just leave, because I know for a fact that right now I'm a dead man walking, going through the madness. So it's like, what should I do? How could I go about it? It's real hard on my behalf to take care of the kids, knowing I could walk down the street and the police constantly running up on me, slam me up in front of the kids. Right now, just the other day or maybe a week ago, my shit is still messed up. Now the Turn Affairs is involved to the point where they want to pit me relocate me somewhere else. Why should I relocate myself? I have my kids. So now I'm on the attorney of stand firm. If I have to die today, tomorrow, whatever, as long as my kids is okay.
You need to continue to share that story with as many people as you can. You know what I'm saying? Continue to, you know what I'm saying, to let people know what's going on in your life. Have other, you know, people like us to be there to support you, you know what I'm saying, in any way that we possibly can. Even if, you know what I'm saying, if us being there while you're going through these, you know, hearings and stuff like that, we, you know, we'll support you, and you have many other groups that do that.
But at no time is surrender an option, because what this system does is use situations like that to instill fear in the next generation. It's the same reason a Ramarley Ground happens. It's not just for that family. It's to send a message to the community. Don't think about rising up, because this is what we'll do. So what we have to do is survive that and then teach. No, you rise up. You fight back. See, because like the brother said, too often in this struggle, we sugarcoat things. We like to take the smooth way out, you know, until it gets to that point. We got to teach that this is a war, man. It's a war. And because you stand up, the second part is we have to be there. That's our responsibility to not talk the talk, but walk the walk with you, to show your family that, hey, you know, there's people standing up with my dad. And that there are other children that can talk to them, because they might not talk to us, but they're going to talk to people their age. And then we have to facilitate those kind of gatherings so these young people can get together and talk amongst themselves, and then we can understand from their perspective what's going on. But trust me, they're going to open up. They're not rebellious to you, but they're processing this information. So the best thing to do is, while they're processing information, create a situation where you and them can process the information together.
So can you tell us what is today's event? Like, what was today's event about, and why are you here?
Well, today's event was about stopping violence in the community as a city, and I'm here because 2 days ago, my friend got beat to death by everybody, by 5 other police, and he was really close to me, so that's why I'm here.
What I'm doing here today is I'm here to see who's standing for peace. I'm here to let people know that my organization is here in the neighborhood, and what we're doing is we're standing for managing violence, and we want people to know that. We want people to know our philosophy and how we want to stand for something as opposed to being against for something else. And my question to that is exactly: do you think more events like this could have prevented stuff like that, with more people being aware of situations?
Yes, because they should know that violence is not good in general. Like, it's not good at all.
Brought me here was my school. I go to Youth Build on 118th and 3rd Ave. It's a GED school and a construction certification program. It's also a leadership program. And some of the signs, like, I actually enjoyed marching and all that. This sign right here, I did it. The graffiti on it, like some of the graffiti ones weren't used, but I did some of it. I was actually proud to be a part of it because it actually brings attention, like, and I'm happy that there were a lot of young children here as well, because then maybe they start to think in the future, like, I shouldn't do this. I should focus on school, going to college, getting a degree, and helping my people to be lifted.
It applies to the same person. He's my little sister, so he was a close friend of ours, and we're here to support him. He can't walk, so we're walking for him. Yeah.
We got State Senator Serrano here. He was here. Is he here? He was here. And Council Member Melissa Martin-Garrido is walking down. She's going to march with us. I got Wilson Jackson here. Is Harlem RBI in the building? Yeah! Is Youth Build in the building? Yeah! Put the guns down, throw your peace signs up. Put the guns down, peace signs up. Put the guns down, throw your peace signs up. Put the guns down, throw your peace signs up.
So thank you very much for being here. Please know that you can reach out to us at any point. We want to work to make our community a safer place. So with that, we're going to march and then go to the tree lighting, which is a nice event.
No more silence, stop the violence. No more silence, stop the violence. Stop the violence. No more silence, stop the violence. No more silence, stop the violence. No more silence, stop the violence. No more stop the violence. No more silence, stop the violence.
You identify the connection between the Youth Peace March and the East Harlem lighting of the ceremony?
Well, we wanted to, and this is, we've done this for a couple of years now, where we wanted to get young people together. This is a peace march. This is about reclaiming our streets. This is about saying we don't want violence in our community. So we're doing this march along the way, stopping, talking with people, and we end up at the tree lighting ceremony, which is a great occasion to celebrate community, spirit, and this is the message of the young people. Stop the violence! Stop the violence! Stop the violence!
Was it purposely to put the events together, or was both planned separately, or?
No, we wanted there to be some level of cohesion, right? So I always participate in the tree lighting as the elected official here. We wanted to obviously do something because we were concerned about the rise in violence and young people in our community and concerned for their well-being. So we wanted to say, look, you know, we're celebrating the holidays. It's about community. It's about spirituality. We want a safe community. So we thought that having a peace march to the tree lighting was a great symbol.
Tree lighting ceremony is really like a beacon of light, an annual inspiring, peaceful event, and so is the Peace March. And we got to shine a beacon of hope and light in the community that's seen a lot of neglect, a lot of violence, and poverty and whatnot.
We're going to do this chant one last time because our community needs to understand that we don't need guns in our community. We don't need any more killings in our community. We have to stop the shooting. So I really want to get us together, and I want to do it in unity one more time. You guys ready? I need to hear you. I need you guys to make some noise so that the community can understand that
that we will not tolerate shootings in our community. We will not tolerate our young people dying in this community. You guys ready? Yeah! Put your guns down, throw your peace sign up. Put your guns down, throw your peace sign up. Put your guns down, throw your peace sign up. Put your guns down, throw your peace sign up. Put your guns down, throw your peace sign up. Put your guns down, throw your peace sign up. Put your guns down, throw your peace sign up. Let me see your peace sign. Put your guns down, throw your peace sign up. Put your guns down, throw your peace sign up. Stop the violence. 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 No more silence. No more silence. Stop the violence. Stop the violence. No more silence. No more silence. No more silence. No more silence. No more silence.
Marching and rallying played a huge role in the civil rights movement. What impact does this march have on the community?
Marching is about galvanizing, marching is about taking a position, marching is about saying that I want to play an active role in what happens in my community. And so this is trying to engage young people to say, we want a different reality. We don't want shootings to be our reality, we don't want guns to be our reality. We want to have and build a better place. And that's why we want to have young